Alrighty, folks. Austin is going to start working on his Buick, or I should say he has been working on it. It's been a series over probably like a month or so, or two, since he's been coming in and out, working to get ready to pull the motor on this van over here. So you can see he's already kind of got it out, but I didn't do any filming on it. So we're going to go recap Austin tearing everything out of that thing, and then we will bring you into his motor rebuild here, and then eventually we're going to try to put that motor in the car. That's kind of the plan, or at least get it sitting in there. So Austin's in back out. We got the motor pulled out of the van. He was stripping the motor down until it started raining yesterday. And then today we're just continuing to strip it down. And then we're going to throw it on an engine stand. I picked up a cheap little pressure washer. We got a whole bunch of degreaser. I think I got some of the WD-40 degreaser stuff, so we'll see how that works. We got a couple cans of engine paint. Hopefully we got enough to do everything. Should. If I remember right, that stuff doesn't cover very well. So I bought 2 cans. And yeah, we're going to scrape most of the heavy goop off of it. And then I guess we'll set her up on an engine stand. He's just putting all the spare parts off to the one side. Thing's almost completely stripped down. We got to get a couple of these shields off yet. And we're going to separate the motor from the transmission, seeing how I was going to bring it to the car wash, but now I have a car wash, kind of. So we'll kind of smack that all together. Hose it down. Hopefully, in the next day or so, we're going to get some paint on it. Alrighty. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it back up with the tractor. And we just got to take this cover off the bottom. And we've got to take the torque converter bolts out. And then we can take the transmission off. I'm going to go look in the barn and see if I have another engine stand for it, so we can stand that up. Alrighty, so we lucked out. We managed to heat and get, well, 2 of the bolts we just heated, got it out. The one, she was bunk, but the old welded nut on it actually worked, so that is a win. So now we've taped up all of our openings. We are just cutting and trimming, just so everything's nice and clean. So A, we can wash it, and then B, when we paint it, we don't fill the motor up with paint. So I think we got all the major orifices. Yeah, I'm just going to pull that front pulley off yet. And I guess we'll pull this cord off, whatever's doing that one, for the block heater. And then we'll roll it and the transmission out and just pressure wash to the 9s. Picked up a spiffy, crappy little pressure washer, but it should work for now. I eventually want to get a nice hot wash again like I had, but for now this will do. It'll works better than the garden hose. Okay. Well, we'll get that thing soaked down. We'll pull it out, give it a quick pressure wash, and then we'll see if it needs more. That's probably good. Yeah. We'll go grab a hose, and we're gonna give it a first quick wash, and then we'll see how much of that grime comes off. Yeah, give me that thing. We'll see how good this stuff works. Never used it before. Interesting. Let's find out. Actually seems to work pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
That's not bad. And that little goofy compressor or pressure wash is working not too shabby. Austin's getting a shower. You want glasses or anything? Well, that stuff worked really good. We hit it one time. Pretty much everything looks pretty clean on it. I mean, it is still grubby. This one here is pretty caked on, and the pump a bit. So for the most part, it's pretty good. We're going to go grab a bite to eat, and then we're going to come back, soak it one more time with that stuff. The foaming, this stuff here actually works really good. I like it. All right, go for supper. Well, that worked out well. we blew it off. I'm going to blow it off some more so it dries, and then Austin can paint this thing tomorrow. We did that. We did the accessory stuff. We'll have to hang it and figure a way to paint everything. We got our normal engine paint. I just picked up some cheaper paint just to give a base, because like I say, I don't know. It's a lot of money, those. Anyways, this little thing worked like a champ. Pretty happy with it for what it is. It got the motor pretty clean. I like it. Anyways, till tomorrow. Well, Austin did a good job. Got all that painted. All one color, bright and orange. Water pump's got a little bit of scaly junk in there, but whatever. For his first paint job, that's pretty good. It'll do. So anyways, we're going to probably move all this later tonight. We're going to get some pulleys and things ready so we can get that painted. Like, I feel we're going to do the front, the balancer, We'll probably do the power steering pump. The bracket for the generator, we'll do it in the black. Kind of get that all ready. We don't know if these manifolds will work yet or not, so, but whatever. I'm not even thinking we're going to bother putting paint on there. Maybe. I don't have any high heat, so that's not a big deal. Should have forethought. I should have like covered some stuff. Everything kind of had a nice haze of overspray on, but luckily it's was a very dusting and it just blew off with the air hose, so that's not a big deal. Yep. Anyways, I think that we're gonna do that tonight, and then probably tomorrow's plan, if the weather holds out, we're gonna go drag up his Buick and we're gonna see if we can just get the motor sitting in there. I think that'll just put a big fire under his butt there and get him pumped, seeing this freshly painted motor sitting in his car. Anyways, I think that's it for now. We're gonna get back at her I think later tonight. Today's plan, we're gonna put the transmission to the motor. We're not gonna put any accessories on. We got them, but we're gonna set them aside. I don't want to. We can do that all in the car, and we got to get some gaskets and stuff, so that's not a big deal. Today's plan is we're gonna bolt this to the transmission. We're gonna go pull this car out. I can't get it in the shop, so we're just gonna have it up front here. We'll kind of work in the dirt a bit, and we're gonna kind of sling it in there and just see how everything looks. I know it should just work, shouldn't be a problem, but we'll have to do brakes, we'll have to do a lot of stuff, but for now we want to sling it in there, kind of get an idea of what we're going to do for motor mounts, things like that. I guess, because we got a pressure washer. Well, I'm going to get him to scrape some of this stuff all out, because this stuff here's got a bunch of gunk on it, so anyways, we'll scrape that out. We'll get it hanging in there, hopefully. It's got the tranny cross member somewhere. We can just see how everything looks, and then we can kind of evaluate how we're going to do make some motor mounts and stuff like that. We have the original power steering pump. We have the original pump, but I think we're going to adapt it and run it off the GM one. That's the plan anyways, and it should work. We'll find out. Hey, you just hanging out? All right, so I forgot to turn my camera on. We have the motor and transmission, just made it up. Haven't done anything with the torque converter. We're just in the mock-up stage. Probably have to put some motor mounts on. I realize these are bad, so I might have to get some, but for now, we're gonna just fill your tires on the car. We're gonna drag it up close so we can kind of just do a really loosey-goosey fling into there and see how things look. See how we got the whole loader and everything. So that thing's full. I'll get you to fill some tires, and then we're gonna drag it up to the shop.
This way or that way?
Alrighty, this one looks good. Go sideways and go under where the oil pan is, so further under that pulley, a little bit further back. It's perfect. All right, come here. Hold this, eyeball this about center. You know what I mean? Kind of hold her. Pull it over to what it looks about center. Maybe we have to mount it. We might have to mount it a little off, so let's go a little crooked just to make our exhaust life easier. Not a big deal. I will fire this up. We'll let that down. Is it sitting there?
Yeah.
Cool. Wind.
Yeah.
Okay, scoot out of there. This is sitting here. We'll figure something out in a minute. We're gonna have to get a ratchet strap underneath there to hold the back up, because then we can try to bolt in that cross member. There's like so much room for a rad and stuff. So like I say, because you see here, this side you're gonna have no problem with exhaust, nothing interfering.
Yeah.
This side with that power steering, if we make it, instead of being centered just a little bit crooked, it'll just make our life easier with everything else. All right, I'm gonna move the tractor out, and then we'll go grab a strap and strap the transmission up. Then maybe what we'll do is we can actually try to push this. We'll clean up in the shop there a bit, and then we'll we can actually work on it nosed into the shop. well, we pushed it in. I don't know yet if we're going to try to repurpose the old van mounts yet or not. But looking at it, this is the stock Buick mounts. We're just going to have to cut those off blindly, both sides. Because the other mount just sits out behind here. So we might have to rerun some brake lines, which is no big deal. Not a problem, just to make life easier. But we got to tie this to here. So, some of the van mount might work. We put the original cross member in and the tranny's sitting on that nicely. I think we're just going to be able to bolt it and just get it to sit in there. We got tons of steering clearance underneath. Lots of room to work on the motor. Just staring at it though, I kind of just slightly offset it a little bit, but that gives us so much room for the exhaust. We did do a quick test fit and it did fit really well. So there should be like no problem getting at anything to work on this motor. So that'll make your life easier down the road.
Yeah.
From there's like lots of room for a rad. So I don't know. There is multiple compounded winds going on with this thing. I don't know if this is right, but that's a matter of shimming the back. So I think first round we're gonna cut these off. We're gonna just cut the brake lines off. We'll make new ones, no big deal. We may as well clean up some of this sludge up here, and then I'm just gonna sit and bang on these things for a little while. Put very little effort in, but see if we can reuse any of this. If not, we'll just make some new ones, but hopefully that's usable. Let's make a plan. Start scraping, cutting some brake lines.
Yeah.
And then I'll get the, we'll take the torch or something. We'll cut these off really rough right now. We might pull the motor out. Well, we'll pull the motor out one more time so we can detail and stuff under here. But we'll get things made so we can kind of only have to pull it out one more time. So Austin's cleaning up down there. We're going to try to fit this mount on that side. I did this one, got a little aggressive with my cutting because the motor wasn't quite sitting level. We checked it out to the car. Now it's level, so it should have gone over more. So I didn't need to cut as much as I did, but I can fix that. I still have all the pieces on the floor, so we can weld them back in. Our goal for now is just to zap it and kind of booger the mounts on so that we can eventually just take the motor back out. He can doll up under the hood and then we can kind of address and make the motor mounts really nice, but they'll be in the place where they need to be. That's kind of the big thing that we're shooting for right now. So on that one, I cut too much out. I am going to need this little elbow back up into here and a few pieces. So it's only weld. We can fix it. We can make it nice. Not too worried. Like I say, we'll just boog some random things on there just to hold them in place, and the motor's sitting on its own weight. That'll be the nicest. Anyways, I'm going to try to get this side together, get this on the mount, and see how badly I screwed this one up now, because it's supposed to be over more. Alright, you want to let the jack down a bit. See where we're at here? Let's see if we can get close to that. This is, I'm leading on it, 2.6, 2.8, somewhere there. So let's let that down and see if we can get the motor close to that.
Not that gentle.
That's okay, it'll stop if you go too far. We just had to torch that a little bit so we could get some give. Nope, too much. Go up there. Keep going. We're at 3. Three to 4. Keep going. More. 4. Just make sure nothing here is like 2, 9. One more. Perfect. All right. We will fill it with some weld. It's still on. All right. That'll do. We'll have to bash and fix a few things here, but essentially your motor's sitting in there.
Yeah.
So mounts are just tacked in, not very nice. We still have to make them pretty, but we're gonna pull this out. I think then I'll get, once we get it kind of zapped in, I'll get Austin to get some welding practice on some big heavy stuff. You can't burn holes in that. We'll get you ready for doing rust repair inside. So we just slapped the carburetor on, just rested it on through the air cleaner, just to kind of get a feel of what his motor looks like, and maybe he's going to figure colors that he wants for under the hood. But I think for now we're going to just set this stuff aside. We can put the hood on. I think we're about done for the day. We're going to clean up all of our parts. We'll throw them in the trunk so they're all with the car. And I guess we'll kick it out till next time. But I'm sure there's a little fire under your arse to Want to chooch along here? We'll have to build a bunch of things. Like we're going to reuse your power steering pump, and then we'll try to adapt the hoses from here to go to it. I think it's still in my shop here. I think I have a master cylinder somewhere, but I don't know. But I have one, so we'll have power brakes in this car. Yeah, I don't know. Be a bunch of upgrades coming.
Yeah.
It took a little while. It took you some time to get the motor out, but it boogied pretty quick after that, eh? So now next round we'll have to still get the diff out of that thing. We got to get the drive shaft. I guess we'll steal all the wheels because they're the same bolt pattern as this car. And we'll figure we go from there. Anyways, let's get this all cleaned up and let's kick her back outside. Alrighty folks, this is where it sits until the next time Austin's out. Motor looking just spiffy in there. I'm sure you're liking that. All we're gonna do now is put the hood on, we'll cover it up, that'll be it. I think that is it till next time. Alrighty folks, I guess this is where we're gonna leave this one. I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later. Bye.
Bye.